Hey, what's up guys? Tony here, and you guys are watching some more War Thunder footage, and I want to address this really quickly because I was looking at my uploaded videos, and this is going to be the 4th War Thunder video that I'm posting up in the last 5 days. So basically what I'm going to address is a little bit of variety in my channel again, because that's really what I stress. And so what I'm going to be doing is I've got an MLB video that I want to make sure to put out by the end of the weekend, and I have some in-game sort of an in-game review for Battlefield 3, the in-game DLC that is. And so I want to make sure to get that out. But I just kind of want to address that because of the fact that, you know, my channel has been a PS3 channel for so long. And so now that I'm posting up some PC gameplay, I'm worried that some people might look at that and be like, oh god, Tony's gone to be full elitist, full tilt elitist gameplay now. And that's not really it at all. That's not the case. But what I do want to talk about is sort of balance, gaming balance, and well, obviously it's going to be a balance between my PS3, my console, and my PC, and how I see how this balance goes. And there's some good examples, and I think some bad examples of how to balance. Well, not really bad. Bad's a really strong word, but just different, a different way to balance. So let me go ahead and tell you guys how I feel right now. Here's my history. My history goes like this. I was I started out Nintendo. Nintendo was my first. So I was a console player. I had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PlayStation 1, 2, and then 3. And from December of 2005 till, oh gosh, it must have been maybe summer of 2008. So for about 3 years, I had a gaming PC. And then when my gaming PC died, all I had was my PlayStation 2. And it wasn't until November of 2009 that I picked up my PlayStation 3, and I started gaming then. And so before that, I was a shooter player on PC. You know, I played Call of Duty 2 was a huge one that I played. I played Doom 3 on my PC, but then I had a host of other games that I really enjoyed, real-time strategy games, some flight simulators, and so I kept a very diverse, as I do now, or as I try to do now, I keep a very diverse, variety of games that I like to play. And so when my PC died and it just pretty much nuked, I don't know what happened. I think it was a heat issue, but still, to this day, I have no idea what happened to it. I got the console, and so I made that transition to console, and then so here we are now in 2013, and I've gone full circle. I've had a console for the last several years, and now I'm back to PC gaming. And the one thing that I know I had a hard time with was for shooters. You know, I was a decent Call of Duty 2 player, and I didn't play COD 4 on PC or anything for that matter. I mean, I played a little bit of it on my brother's Xbox for like private matches, but we never played online. And so I made that transition from keyboard and mouse to controller, and I found it to be hard, but not too hard, because there's aim assist and stuff. But it's still, the first part I was just like, man, I can do these things with my keyboard, I just can't do them with a controller. And now I'm at the point where like I can do all this stuff on a mouse or on a controller that I can't do with the mouse and keyboard. So it's funny that it's happening, but that's just the case. Now here's where I'm going with that. The last almost 3 years, it'll be 3 years in October. The last 3 years, my YouTube channel obviously has been associated with PlayStation and console gaming. Actually, I've had some Xbox games on there as well. But it's been all about console gaming. And I have actually grown to love console gaming, and I have a deep affection for my PlayStation 3, not in a weird way, of course, but just I have a deep affection for my PlayStation 3 because of the people that I've met. The online community that I've gotten involved with has really caused me to sink my teeth into console gaming to the point of which that I play games like Battlefield 3 on my PC or Crisis 3 on my PC, and I don't even like them. There's sort of I have this inherent level of dislike for the keyboard and mouse when it comes to first-person shooters, because I am good. I know that I'm good. I'm very modest about my skill level on the console, just because of the fact that there are players that are better than me, and then there are players that are not as good as me. And I admire those good players, but I know over the last 3 years I've gotten really good I'm not, you know, like a superstar. You know, I'm not, you know, that good, but I know that I'm good. I have a skill set that I know a lot of people would like to have, and you know, so I for the most part, and this is the way I am, I'm very modest about my abilities, and so so I know I'm a good console player. You know, I'm confident in my abilities on the console, and so when I play on PC and I just get shit on in a game that I'm good at, it's really discouraging. But I give it a try anyways. You know, I'll play Battlefield every now and again. I played Crysis, and then I was, you know, I was trying to play Crysis like last weekend, and I was telling Snoov and Chris and I think it was Jess, and I think it was IntoWorks Media was in there as well, or maybe not. I can't remember. And then Ghost of Sparta was in there, and I was just not having a good time. And so I eventually backed out. Like, I rage quit Crysis 3, and Snoov did as well. But the thing is, though, is that I just wasn't having the experience that I wanted to have. You know, there's things there. I know how to play the game. I really like Crysis 3, and I just couldn't get it done. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to take my brother, the advice that I gave to my brother, and I told him, and I'm going to do the same, is I'm going to play the campaign of Crysis 3 all the way through on the PC. And so I quit that out, and I started playing, and I got thinking, I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I don't really want to play the campaign through. There was a little bit of like, I don't really want to get good at PC shooter gaming because I want to have that experience on my console. But not only that, but while I was playing, because I played through, I don't know, probably about an hour or so of the campaign before I decided to give in and to give up. Not give up, because I'll probably go back to it, because, I mean, I have it, and it would just be a waste to not play it. But here's what I've noticed about myself when it comes to PC gaming, is that for me, the PC is an opportunity for me to play games that I otherwise could not play. War Thunder, the game you're watching, is a very good example of a game that I cannot play on console because the game requires such fine controls. You know, like IL-2 Sturmovik, I like the game, but it's really hard to play with a PS3 excuse me, with a PS3 controller. For whatever reason, the developers, I think they had it made for PC, and when they ported it to PlayStation, it just didn't translate very well. You know, I've tried with the flight stick, I've tried with the PlayStation 3 controller. They don't allow you very much button mapping or key bindings or whatever the hell they call it in PC world. But to configure your controller in a way that best suits you, they don't do that very well, and so it's discouraging to play. Well, now on the PC, that game suddenly became a game that I really enjoy because of the fact that there was so much more control of the airplane that you can get with the mouse and keyboard that you just can't get with the controller. Now I know Billy the Kid is going to argue against that because he plays with a PS3 controller, and he's actually probably better than me. You know, I played more than him for hours wise, but he has almost as many kills as I do. So he's a really good player. And so anyways, that's my point about this whole commentary, is that I'm trying to find this balance between my PC gaming and my PS3 gaming, and I have been playing a lot of War Thunder, to be honest, and I've put myself in a situation where I've neglected my PlayStation. Well, last night I got online and I played Tomb Raider, and I played MLB The Show, and I played Battlefield 3, and it was awesome. It was great to go from one unit that I can have a totally separate experience from, you know, War Thunder in this case, or like any real-time strategy game. Like, I really love Empires, you know, and I like those games where you build up civilizations, you get armies together, and you go out and you go beat up on the AI. I don't like playing those online. I prefer to play them against the AI. Anyways, like, you know, I have those games, and that's the experience that I like on my PC. I tried PlanetSide recently with Scanner, and it's a fun game. There's a lot to it, and it's going to take a lot of learning. But even when I'm playing that, while I was playing with him, you know, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, so when am I going to be done? You know, and these battles were raging. I mean, there was just like one battle after another battle. There was no end to this. This was going to go until you logged off. That's really the way it was. And so I thought, like, okay, so when is this going to be over? And so we just kind of came to a natural point where we were fed up with our team, and so we both logged out to take a break, and then I put it down. I was done with it for the day. And so that's where I kind of find myself. I kind of find myself in this realm where, the way I see it, I think shooters for me are going to be exclusive to the console. I'm going to exclusively play shooters on the console because I just don't have that interest in me. And a lot of people are like, well, you need to give it more time. You need to, you know, just let the game grow naturally with you, and not worry about, like, sucking, because you're gonna suck, because it's a whole new experience. It's a whole different way of controlling the the character. And to that I said, yeah, I get that, I understand, but it's just not the experience that I want. So that's where the balance is. And so for those of you guys who have a PC, or maybe are thinking about getting a PC, because it seems like getting a PC is sort of the new trend right now in gaming. And I think it has to do with things like Steam and Origin and these places selling games and putting them on sale. And maybe it's for the massive multiplayer version of it, instead of being condensed to 24 players on a console, you can play with hundreds of thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds or thousands of people at the same time. So there's an appeal to that for those people who want these more epic style games. So if you're in that realm, if you have the PC, or maybe you're thinking about it, I'm kind of curious to know if you're going to try to balance, or if you've gone like full tilt PC, or if you just have a PC, you're like, well, I kind of game on it, but I still prefer console. Because right now, like I said, I'm kind of in this spot where the console, I still have games I absolutely enjoy. Like, I could not imagine playing Tomb Raider on PC. There's something that is so, I don't know, intuitive about a controller that works with me in a game like Tomb Raider. And a lot of games like Uncharted 3, Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, those ones I couldn't play those on a mouse and keyboard, because you need all those controls at your fingertips instead of keystrokes where you're dancing around your keyboard. On the other hand, games like War Thunder I think work best on PC and don't seem to work as well on a console. So that's the sort of balance that I'm putting to myself. I balance myself and with certain genres now on the PC. And I'm going to stick with what I'm going to consider more traditional genres for me: shooters, sports games, racing games. I don't know, Gran Turismo 5, even though I'm going to try a racing game this weekend on the PC. So anyways, that's what I want to know. How do you guys go about balancing your different play times, and how you go about those different experiences? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.